We're still on day 2 with the young Dolph trial. Now, the second part of the day, Straight Drop or Justin Johnson's brother, Jamarcus Johnson, actually testified in court against Straight Drop. Now, when Straight Drop found out that the authorities was on his tail hours after, maybe even days after, this is when he started to scramble. He started to hide and leave items with people. He left his cell phone in a rental car that he was driving to his other brother, his half-brother, Jamarcus Johnson. Now, Jamarcus Johnson ties into it because he used Straight Drop's phone to call his probation officer, and he pretty much kept his phone at his house when Straight Drop went on a run. So the authorities knew it was Straight Drop's phone. They thought he was still in Memphis, but Straight Drop skipped town. So who was using the phone? The stepbrother. He was posting on social media and replying text messages and relaying them to Straight Drop while he was out of town. So that's why he's testifying. He will be sentenced at a later date. Of course, a lot of people are in the comments saying that he's a snitch and things like that, but from the testimony, under my impression, it looks like Straight Drop didn't let his brother know what was going down until it was too late when the police came and arrested him. Let's talk about this in the comments. Would you guys tell on your stepbrother, your half-brother, if you had no idea what was going on and the police came to arrest you, you have no record, you never been to jail or anything, what would you do?
Tell me who's in this picture, if you would. I think you've seen those before, Jamarcus, is that right?
Yeah.
Who's in those pictures?
Justin.
Your brother, Justin?
Uh-huh.
I want to ask you about your brother, Justin Johnson, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Do you see him in the courtroom?
Yes, sir.
Can you point him out and tell me what he's wearing?
Wearing a bracelet.
Okay, is he seated here behind these two attorneys?
Mm-hmm.
Could the record reflect he's identified as brother Justin Johnson? We just have to do that for the court reporter. It's a legal thing. Now, Mr. Johnson, you are actually charged in this case, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
You are charged with taking possession of some of your brother's property after the Dolph and for aiding him to communicate with another man by the name of Cornelius Smith after the Dolph. Okay? You have an attorney for that case, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And he's actually in the courtroom today.
Yes, sir.
You have pled guilty to being an accessory after the fact, several counts of that offense, for taking control over a car your brother was driving afterwards, for taking control over a phone that your brother had afterwards, and for helping him by using the phone communicate with Cornelius Smith. Is that right? And you've entered a guilty plea to those offenses, but you have not been sentenced yet. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Meaning that a judge has not had a hearing and told you what your sentence is going to be. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Had you ever been arrested before this case?
No, sir.
Ever been to 201 Papa for court cases and stuff like this before this
No,
case?
sir.
This was the first time,
Yes, sir.
and it's the only time.
Yes, sir.
Is he your full brother?
We got the same dad, different mom.
Okay. Same dad, different mother, so half brother or whatever. As y'all grew up, did y'all actually grow up together in the same house every day?
No, sir.
You've described sort of how often you would see your brother Justin. I liken it to something like me and my cousins or something.
Mm-hmm.
Does that sound about right?
Yes, sir.
So you grew up in a different household than your brother.
Yes, sir.
Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. But you would see your brother from time to time? Is that,
Yes, sir.
would you see him at family stuff? Or
Younger, yeah.
when you were younger? Okay. I want to take you back to 2021, okay? November of 2021. Now, did you even know who Dolph was?
A rapper, yeah.
A rapper, okay. So you knew Dolph was a rapper,
Yes, sir.
okay. Did you have anything to do with some sort of plan on the front end?
No, sir.
Is that anything that you would ever be involved in?
No, sir.
Any sort of plan to kill other PRE, do you know that? Do you know what PRE is?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any plan to kill another PRE artist or anything like that?
No, sir.
Okay. In 2021, about how often would you talk or communicate with your brother, Justin?
Like every other week.
Like every other week?
Yes, sir.
In 2021, about how many times do you think you saw him that whole year?
Like 2 or 3 times.
Okay. So in all of 2021, you would have seen him 2 or 3 times.
Yes, sir.
Does that sound about right? And you would have talked to him maybe once a week or every 2 weeks. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So it'd be fair to say that y'all were not close.
Yeah. Nah, we were close, but we didn't talk all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, there's stuff going on. I got my stuff.
Okay. Were his friends your friends?
No, sir.
Okay. So did you know the people he hung out with?
No, sir.
Did you know, for instance, Treon Ingram?
No, sir.
That name mean anything at all to you?
No, sir.
Okay. Where were you living in 2021
I was
when this happened?
when the murder happened.
When this time period that we're talking about, when Dolph got murdered, and when we hear later that Justin gives you his time.
Auburn apartments.
The Harbor Sport. Now, what area of Memphis?
East Memphis.
All right, so you were living in East Memphis.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And for people that are not from here, there's downtown.
Yes, sir.
Is that correct? There's Midtown that is next to downtown that includes Crosstown.
Yes, sir.
Okay. There's South Memphis, there's North Memphis,
Yes, sir.
and then there's East Memphis.
Yes, sir.
And you were living out in East
Yes,
Memphis.
sir.
Who were you living with?
I live with my mom and 2 sisters.
Okay. And
my
did you?
son. Yeah.
You have a son, is that correct? And you have custody of your son.
4 custody.
How old is your son now?
4.
And were you working back in 2021?
Yes, sir.
Where were you working?
I was working at the Disney warehouse.
Okay, at the Disney warehouse. All right. Trying to support your son
Yes, sir.
and living in those apartments with your mom and your sisters.
Yes, sir.
Did there come a time after Dolph was killed that your brother Justin got in contact with you?
Yes, sir.
What was it about?
About bringing me a rental car.
About bringing you a rental car.
Mm-hmm.
Now, had you asked him for a car or anything?
No.
Okay, so this is, do you know what out of the blue means? Would this be something sort of out of the blue?
No, he knew I didn't have a car.
Okay, your brother would have known you didn't have a car.
Yeah, he knew I didn't have a car.
Okay. And was not having a car hard for you?
Yes, sir.
Who had to drive you to the warehouse?
I had to get rides from different people.
You had to get rides. Okay. Calls you about giving you a car.
Yes, sir.
Does this sound good to you?
Yes, sir.
All right. What happens after the phone call?
I was getting out from work. On the way home, and he was going to come and bring me the car so I can get back and forth from work. I'll be needing the car stuff.
Okay. And did he in fact do that?
Yes, sir.
Where did he?
Came like an hour later to the office.
Like an hour later? At your apartment complex? Okay. What kind of car did he arrive in?
It was a white Chrysler.
Okay. You know what a Chrysler 200 or 300 looks like?
I think it was a 300.
Okay. Oh, they look similar, 200, 300, right? I was just asking, does it look like one of those things?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is he driving that car?
Yes, sir.
Does he have anybody with him?
It was some people in the truck.
What kind of truck is it?
I really don't know.
What color was the truck?
It was white.
A white truck? You say truck, you mean like a pickup truck, or do you mean like a big SUV?
It was a big SUV.
Big SUV? Okay. Do you know who the people were in the white SUV with him were?
No, sir.
Okay, what happens when he gets there?
Tell tell me you outside.
Okay.
Okay. Go outside, get in the car.
You get in the car with him?
He was quiet. He had 2 phones.
Okay.
Okay, so I guess he was just putting numbers in the phones and stuff.
He was doing what?
He was like switching the numbers, putting numbers in the phone, another phone.
Okay, so he has 2 phones in front of you, and it looks like he's taking numbers from one and putting it in the other?
Yeah.
Okay, now had y'all talked about a phone or anything before?
Nah.
All right, he was bringing you a car. You're in the car. He's got 2 phones. Before this conversation about bringing you a car and stuff, when was the last time you had talked to him?
Probably like 2 or 3 weeks before that.
Okay. All right, so you meet him in the car. He's got the 2 phones and he's going back and forth with the numbers. Were you asking what he's doing or what's going on?
He was just quiet.
Okay. And what are you doing?
I was on my phone.
Okay. So you're sitting there next to him, you're on your phone, he's doing his number stuff. What happens?
He tell me he was gonna give me the phone for like social media stuff.
Like that he's going to give you one of his 2 phones. Okay. And you said for social media stuff?
Yeah, posting pictures and checking his email and stuff like that.
Does your brother have social media?
Got Instagram, yeah.
Okay. In fact, you know your brother, does he go by other names too?
Other than his real name, Straight Drop.
Okay. Straight Drop and sometimes just Drop.
Yeah, this is real name.
Okay. And when you say give it to you for his social media, what do you mean by that?
Kind of like, I don't know, I guess he was just busy and he just needed me to keep up with like the people that was emailing for like these producers, stuff like that.
All right, so let me back up. He gives you his phone because it's the idea that people may be calling or texting or messaging him. Okay, so he told you at the time that he needed you to use his phone to maybe post some stuff to his social media. Is that
like videos, all this stuff?
Okay. Did you ask him why he couldn't do this himself with his phone?
No.
Okay, but he has this phone in his hand. And he's going to give it to you, and you already have a phone. You don't need a phone.
No, I don't.
The car sounds good. And he wants you to have his phone and maybe post stuff to social media.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You don't ask him why?
No.
Does he provide any explanation?
Other than just for the social media stuff.
Okay. He doesn't say why he needs you to do this rather than him.
No, sir.
Does he tell you that he's getting out of town?
No, sir.
Does he tell you that he's got to lay low?
No, sir.
What happens after he gives you the phone?
Somebody was calling him and stuff, like rushing him to come on.
In the car there? So he's getting a phone call from while he's in there?
Yeah.
On one phone or the other, do you remember?
I don't know which one.
Okay. And so does that end y'all's little meeting?
Nah.
Okay. What
He was
happens?
still sitting in the car.
Okay.
Yeah, he was still doing the same thing.
Still putting numbers back and forth?
I mean, he just had both the phone. I wasn't looking to see what he was doing, but that's what it looked like he was doing.
Okay.
He was looking at both phones.
Once got done putting numbers or whatever he was doing with both phones at the same time, what happened?
Nah, I asked him, was he straight? And he said, yeah. Then they called again. Whoever it was, called him again. And he was like, here he comes. So he got out the car. Then he got in the key. I went in the house.
Okay, so he gets out of the car. Did he get in that white SUV with those other people?
Yeah.
Okay, and you go into the house. And now you have a car that he's given you. All right.
Yes, sir.
And you have a telephone that was his.
Yes, sir.
After you get possession of this phone, do people start trying to contact him on this phone?
Yes, sir.
All right, but you have the phone.
Yes, sir.
What happens when somebody contacts him on the phone that you have?
I'll text him and tell them that they called or text.
Okay, so if somebody calls him or texts him, and you then text him or call him and say, so-and-so just texted or called you, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Were there ever times that somebody would call that phone and then you and your phone would call another phone and put them together so that they could talk?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you could aid in those sort of, sometimes we call them three-way or whatever, conversations between him and other people?
Yes, sir.
Among those sort of three-way conversations, did he ever talk to somebody identified as C?
The name in the phone was C Girl.
Okay. And the voice, was it a male or a woman?
The one time that I did hear you sound like you.
Sounded like it did. At the time, did you know who C was?
No, sir.
Do you now know that to be Cornelius?
Yes, sir.
Were you able to hear a conversation going on between Justin on one end of the line and Cornelius, since you were sort of three-way there?
Not like full conversation.
Not the full conversation. Were you able to hear some of the conversation?
Just a little bit. I wasn't really just listening.
Okay. You've been asked before whether or not you heard some of the conversation, correct?
Yes,
And have you described part of the conversation having to do with money?
Yes, sir.
Having to do with getting money to C?
The text message.
The text messages?
Yeah.
And what was it about?
It was like, DJ kept saying like, "What's up, bro? What's up, bro? What's up, bro?" And stuff like that. And I was texting my brother, and I was telling him somebody texted me, and he was like, who he is and what he want. And then when I told him, he kept saying like he loved him and stuff like that. And then he said, have you talked to Uncle?
Okay. Did you know who Uncle was at that time?
No, sir. He said, talk to him. Then he said, if you talk to him, tell him I need some money for my little girl birthday party.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did that make any sense to you?
I really don't care.
About money, though. The money that would be coming from Justin and Unc to this C person.
I don't think it was coming from Justin. I think it was just coming from Unc.
Coming from Unc.
He was telling him to ask Unc.
Okay. So C was asking Justin to ask Unc where the money is. At the time, did you know who Unc was? At the time, had you ever even heard of Big Joke?
I knew he was, yeah.
Had you ever met him?
No.
You ever talked to him?
No, sir.
Okay, but you knew his name
Yeah.
from the rap game and everything else? Did you use that phone like that? I mean, would various people text and call, and then you tell your brother, hey, so-and-so text and call?
It was only it was a couple people. Yeah.
A couple people? Okay. During the course of doing this, did your brother ever tell you where he was?
Talking about after he left from
He never told you where he was?
No, sir.
At some point, the police come to you, is that right?
Yes, sir.
They come to your apartment,
Yes, sir.
and they want something you got. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
They want that phone,
Yes, sir.
your brother's phone.
Yes, sir.
And did you give him that phone?
Yes, sir.
And did you agree with to go back to the station with them and be interviewed by the police? Did you do that?
They took me there.
They took you there. Okay.
Yeah.
They took you there. You turned over the phone and told them about Justin giving it to you.
Yes, sir.
Now, the original reason that he gave you for this phone was so you could do postings on social media and stuff.
Yes, sir.
Did you do postings on social media for him while he was gone?
Yes, sir. It was like 2 pictures.
Which 2 pictures?
It was like a picture of some food, like a restaurant,
Okay.
and another one was like some shoes.
Okay. So you posted 2 pictures for him. Which would be a picture of some fancy shoes,
Just some Jordans.
some Jordans, and a picture of some food. And did he ask you to post those pictures?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you also follow his social media? Could you see the stuff he posted on social media?
Yes, sir.
Was he still posting stuff on his social media? Not just you? Like a picture of him in a Rolls Royce, or a picture of him holding tens and tens of thousands of dollars?
Not like around the time I posted those pictures.
I understand.
Straight on down the line, yeah.
Further on down the line. Okay. Before he got arrested.
Yes, sir.
So that's not you posting those pictures.
Yes, sir.
In fact, I think the police already had the phone at that point.
Yes, sir.
Pass you exhibit 57 and 56. Tell me who's in this picture, if you would. I think you've seen those before, Jamarcus, is that right?
Yeah.
Who's in those pictures?
Justin.
Your brother, Justin?
Uh-huh.
I could have those exhibits returned. I'm done asking you questions, Jamarcus.
One moment, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Marcus. If you don't mind, I'll call you Marcus since we have more than one Mr. Johnson in the request.
Yes, sir.
All right. My name's Luke Evans. I just got maybe just one question for you, or a couple of questions for you. So you knew Justin to be an aspiring rapper,
Yes, sir.
correct? He was trying to get signed.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Had you ever, prior to that date, ran his social media or YouTube before?
Yes, sir.
All right, so that wasn't something, that wasn't a new thing for him to ask you to do.
No, sir.
Okay. All right, thank you very much.